Welcome to Land Academy. This is the Cash Flow from Land show, where we show you how to buy unwanted vacant land and sell it for more on the internet. I'm Steve Butala.
I'm Jill DeWitt.
We are your hosts. With over 15,000 completed transactions, we are the experts in this niche land flipping business.
We hold a drawing to win a free property every month. Enter to win by reviewing this show on iTunes and downloading our free ebook at landacademy.com. All right, let's get this show started.
Hey, this is Steve Butala for Land Academy. Welcome to our Cash Flow from Land show. In this episode, Jill and I share the story behind why we can afford to give away a piece of property every single month, a piece of land. And it's really no secret. It's just because the math works and we can buy it so inexpensively. So, you know, Jill, we ran a ton of promos and tested a bunch of stuff probably a year ago. And this one just seemed to be the most popular promotional tool that it stuck around.
Right.
So why do you think it's so popular, and why, tell me why please tell me why you think, this works so well.
So many reasons. It directly relates, A, to what we do, and B, let me think. Would I rather have a quarter acre piece of property somewhere where I can drive right up to it? Or would I rather have an iPad? Right.
Is somebody giving away an iPad?
Some people, I don't know if they still do, but I know people that have given away things like that as a promotional item. And I'm like, what am I going to do with an iPad? That's.
I own a ton of property. I'd rather have the iPad.
What? I'll buy you an iPad. Like, goodness, Steven.
So this is now a great time to say every single month, Jill and I give away a property.
Yes, we do.
It's incredibly simple. She's going to actually announce the
winner.
Last month's winner. Or is it this month?
It was for November. So it's at the end of do you want to give the rules?
Well, sure. I mean, you can if you want.
Okay. Just every month, we have committed to giving away a free piece of property. You do not have to be a Land Academy member. You do not have to be signed up anywhere special. You only have to do two things. One, download our free ebook. And as Steven says, you don't even have to read it. And two,
you'll read it though.
You will read it. You'll want to read it.
Yeah.
You'll want to know how we can give property away because you're going to want to do this. And it is funny. And the second condition is you need to go and rate our iTunes show, and just any rating.
Rate this show.
Rate this show, the Cash Flow from Land show in iTunes. And if I can't tell, by the way, who your name is, if you have, your Funky Jam 7 or whatever, I don't know where I got it. Let's just say, so I'm not going to know who Funky Jam 7 is. Send me an email so I know who that is. Jill@landacademy.com. Hey, I just rated the show. I'm Funky Jam 7. So for this month's drawing, here's who I am. And
here's the interesting thing. There's probably 20 people that have rated the show so far.
Yes.
Because it's pretty new.
Yes.
And next month, let's say there's 30 or 40. There's like a 1 in 20 chance that you're going to win this property.
Exactly.
So it's not like an iPad where 17,000 people enter, like a Pepsi contest.
Right. So at the end of every month, we get everything together and we announce it on the middle of the month of who won last month. So are you ready? Drum roll.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ooh. All right. The winner is Eric Held. And Eric is not a member in anything. He rated our show. He loves our show. A regular listener. And Eric, you're going to get an email from my staff in the next couple of days, asking how you want to have your property transferred.
He's probably going to say something like, thanks for the property, and don't ever use my last name on air again.
Oh, it's silly. There's probably,
It's all good.
It's all good. No.
Is that the first time you haven't even contacted him at all?
No, not yet.
Wow.
So I'm hoping he's listening in his car and he doesn't have a So, yep. That was our first big announcement.
How can we afford to do this? Well, if you have listened to even probably 1 or 2 episodes of the show with Jill and I here, we are in the business of making tons and tons of offers for unwanted rural vacant land for next to nothing. Tons of offers that for $100, $200, $300, $400, $500, or in higher acreage it goes up. And we've made a living since the 90s of buying unwanted raw land for next to nothing and selling it for more on the internet. Mm-hmm. So yeah,
so the big picture is it's not worth that. It's worth more, but we're reaching out to the right people at the right time that just want to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Like me and my dumb car. And
oh no, not the car again.
No, okay. But like we talked about the convenience store, the yard sale, there's times that you're reaching out to people and they just want it off their lawn. It's like a yard sale and they feel good about it. They're really over it. They're not trying to maximize the price. So that's it. We're buying valuable property at way under, wholesale.
And what's the number one question we get? I get every single week. What? I don't believe you. I don't believe I can go buy a piece of property for $100.
It's true.
So I have continually, over the last 2 decades, come up with interesting ways to answer that question. But the fact is, we're reaching the right people, just like you said.
Right.
Making it real easy for them to just get out of the whole thing.
And that's part of it. When you think about it, we are incurring all the costs as well. So they're going to net a decent price and they don't have to go anywhere. They don't have to do anything. It's a valuable thing that we're doing. We're doing all the paperwork. We're sending the notary to them. I'm paying for that. I'm recording it, so there's value there also.
The vast majority of the people that we buy property from thank us.
Yes.
If not all of them by the time Jill gets done with them.
Yes.
So, and that's hard to explain to somebody who's new at this. They think that, I've heard it all. There are a small segment of people out there who think that we're in the business of taking advantage of people. Mm-hmm. And nobody's putting any guns at anybody's head about doing a real estate deal. You can throw the offer away if you want. Mm-hmm. But a huge number accept it, and they thank us and say, man, I didn't know what else to do.
Mm-hmm. That's very true. And, and you're right. That's a good thing. There's plenty of times that people say, gosh, no, I'm sorry. It just doesn't work for me. And I say, okay, that's okay. Then, I wish you all the best. And if anything changes, please let me know.
Right.
And it's very respectful and polite and that's okay.
Right.
Like, that it happens. I was going to bring up my car again. I'm sorry. It just is such a good example because it's so current right now. Like the guy that made me an offer and I said, thank you, but no thank you. There's nothing wrong with that. What a racket.
So this is what happened with Jill's car. She's got a almost vintage little Porsche it's on its last legs, and she took it to the mechanic, and the mechanic said it's got all the stuff that it needs. But it just occurred to me that this mechanic could have made this stuff up.
Right. Although the check engine light is on. No, I believe them.
I think they're pretty reputable too.
Yeah. It's not a one-off.
What a business model. Diagnose a huge problem in a car and then make an offer for 1/10 of what it's worth.
There is a business model. I sure hope his brother has a used car lot. Seriously. Because there you go.
You're not going to sell to the guy, right?
No.
Okay.
No, it's not anywhere where, if it was anywhere in the range I was thinking, I absolutely would, because then I don't even have to go pick it up. But, in this case, no, but there's a great business model there.
Right. Well, it's ridiculously dishonest, but.
No. You don't make it up. No, you're legitimate. You just know what you're getting into. You're legitimate. Well, it's interesting. I knew,
I bet a certain percentage, I don't mean to interrupt you, a certain percentage of people would just say, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't want to come get the car
anymore. They're just done with it.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like us. Okay, what if your taxes are so high? We talked about that too. Do I want to write a check to $1,000 right now to get my car fixed? This is the real truth.
It's just like our business model.
Here we go. It is. I can write $1,000 check right now and I can get my check engine light off and be rolling for a little while. Something else is going to happen, by the way. Like you're going to get another tax bill. Same thing. Or I can get money for it.
Yeah. With that specific problem with that car, you're going to get another bill next month. Exactly. That's more than that. So yeah, it's just like real estate. The owner's staring at the mailbox, looking at a property tax bill every year, and saying, am I going to write a check for this tax amount on this property I'm never going to use and never going to go see? Mm-hmm. Or am I going to get a check from Steve and Jill to sell a property And I don't have to do anything. Somebody literally shows up at my door with documents and a cashier's check.
Right.
It's not a hard decision to make.
It's not a hard decision to make.
It's no wonder that we get the response rate that we get, which is pretty high, between 5 and 25% on the letters we send out. Mm-hmm. So that's how we can afford to do this. We're not paying a ton for the property. Mm-mm. Is it worth a lot more than that? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or I wouldn't have bought it.
That's right. We don't make offers on property we don't think is valuable.
Exactly.
We did a show on that. We did a whole show on property we will never purchase, no matter how much no matter how cheap it is, no matter if they're giving it away. Mm-hmm. And that all has to do with not absolutely no access or on the side of a cliff or something.
I had a really good discussion exactly on those lines last week with a gentleman about that because he wanted to know my take on it. He has heard from a lot of people, and he didn't agree, that have said that, oh gosh, yeah, you buy every property just for the right price. And so when he asked me the question, he was pleasantly surprised when I said, no, I'm not going to buy every property. There's some I'm going to pass on regardless of the price. Mm-hmm. And he was like, oh, thank you, for being honest. And thank you for saying that. And he agreed, there's plenty of properties I don't want to get stuck with.
There's a transaction that I used to keep. It's gone now. But I used to keep it in our acquisition queue, at the bottom.
Was it a cemetery?
I bought a cemetery on accident one time. That's a totally different topic. A totally different topic.
Thank you.
But no, this property, it was anybody so I kept it there for our staff to kind of like just teach a simple lesson. It was a ton of properties all adjacent to each other in Southern California. I mean, it was like 200 or 300 acres and they're all cut up into it was great. It was a great deal until you look at it. Until you actually do look at the maps and see that there is absolutely no access to this property.
Oh, it's just a mess.
And it was like $3,000.
Oh, okay.
Or I think that was the amount of the back taxes. The guy just wanted to give it to us.
No wonder.
So I left it. I took it out probably a couple of years ago, but because it was
right.
It was a massive distraction. There's a long time ago and this person is long gone, but they would work. I would turn a deal like that down, mm-hmm. and they'd go behind my back and go buy it.
Really? Yeah. Oh, well, would they make any money off it?
Yeah. Yeah, you lie.
Oh.
You just go lie. You sell it and say it's the greatest piece of property. It's stuff we don't do.
That's bad.
Like this theoretical mechanic thing.
That's bad. Well, I mean, that's kind of why I trust the guy. Come on, let's be honest. If he was making it all up, eventually his days are numbered. Someone's going to call him on it, and he's not going to be around. And it's not like he's young and new. That's exactly what happened, Jill. You nailed it. So there you go.
If we were doing something wrong or silly or this didn't work, first of all, we couldn't give a piece of property away every month.
True.
We'd be out of business. But if we were doing any of that stuff, we wouldn't have the trust that we've established. We've done 15,000 deals. We've established in trust.
Almost 16,000 now.
Almost 16.
Mm-hmm. You're right. And all the years of, the customers over the years, the repeat customers over the years, that says a lot.
This guy, this is sad, but he passed away, the former employee.
Oh.
I never talked about this.
No, it was
long before you.
New to me.
So a person that I haven't spoken with in a long time just emailed me and said, hey, I just wanted to see they sent me the obituary.
Oh, that's sad. How, why would he not come? Well, it was dishonest because he was selling it as something it wasn't. But if there was a deal that I passed on and somebody in my office said, do you mind if I have a go at it? I'd say, not with my money, but thank you for being honest, and you better do it right or you're not going to work for me. I don't want my name out there.
If he would have come to me and said, hey, if you're not going to do this deal, I'll do it.
Right.
I would have said yes.
That's what I'm saying. Be upfront and honest about it, and don't go marketing it the wrong way. Don't use what I've taught you and be dishonest.
Yeah. That's
not cool.
But that's another reason we teach all this stuff. So you could, even in that situation, if you just, obviously you educate people, your customers, about how to buy these properties. So here's the APN or the assessor's parcel number. Here's a map of the property. Here's pictures of the area or pictures of the lot, and if you're staring at a map that's got no access at all, like Google Earth Map, You can't get away with that for very long. Mm-hmm. Just tell the truth.
It is, that's another good point. I think another reason that we have the customers that we have, and they come to us. I've had customers that have latched on to us, our company, and me, just because of me and my helpfulness. They're like, okay, I don't want that property.
Customers that have latched onto you, Jill.
Thanks a lot. Not literally.
I just got a vision of Snow White dancing around with, with the birds singing and stuff and landing on her head.
They even gave a picture of me, I'm walking. There's a customer on my ankle and I'm dragging him down the street.
And they're all smiling and happy and Jill's singing.
Thanks. No. But because I'm helpful to them, and I've actually, it comes up all the time. People don't understand GPS coordinates and how it works. And when I tell them how simple and easy it is, just instead of putting in 123 Main Street, put in 32.156. They're like, oh, I'm like, yes.
I did we have a ton of YouTube videos out there, and one that I did a long time ago was how to use GPS coordinates, and it's still our number one.
It's a great
number one video. We take it for granted, some of this stuff,
right?
But
it's true. Remember the what 3 words? That didn't seem to take off.
I don't even.
Do you remember what 3 words is a GPS tool? It was a mapping tool. That didn't really take off. I do remember that. That was kind of cool. I was all excited about that, but that didn't work out. So.
Explain what it is.
Okay.
It is pretty cool, actually.
These guys I think they were in England.
I think
they were British. They came up with a GPS mapping system, which is 3 random words. That there were enough words out there in English language. So you could, and it would be within a 5 or 10 foot radius of
a very small space. Yeah.
Right. So I could go on my phone and I could tell so-and-so, maybe I'm at Disneyland, for example. And instead of saying I'm behind the whatever ride or whatever, I could say I'm standing at, ice cream, shoe red or whatever it is. Ice cream red shoe. Say that's ours. And then it would zero in on a 5 foot little radius of where that was anywhere in the world.
It's an app on your phone. And the reason you can do that now with GPS, and it would be 34.9996412,
right?
-109.6657, and no one can remember that,
right?
But they can remember ice cream. What was it?
Red shoe.
Ice cream red shoe.
Right. Like you did your front door, which was wasn't it luxury?
Yeah.
Remember that you got all excited because you were going all around the outside of the house to find the coolest 3-word combinations. You could say, I live at luxury something.
Right. So for example, your kitchen would be, there's probably 10 places in your kitchen that you could,
right.
The words would be,
you could be that specific.
Right.
And that was really kind of cool.
Probably did take off, Joe. It's just not, we don't,
we're not using it.
We could, maybe.
It's hard to educate the people. I think we tried to use it. Remember, we started to put it in some postings. We actually tried to put it, my staff did anyway, try to put GPS coordinates and put it in the what 3 words. But then I realized too, okay, we're opening a whole can of worms here. If I'm trying to teach people what that is, I'm just trying to sell property.
Just teach them the right thing, first of all. I mean, it's a silly little substitute maybe for people who are not land buyers that go to Disneyland.
That's perfect. You're at the fair. You don't know where grandma and grandpa are or whatever. You can do that. So
if you're going to learn how to do it, then you might as well just take 30, because it takes about 30 seconds to understand GPS.
Right.
Global positioning system, right?
Exactly.
Did you ever fly a plane without a GPS?
All the time.
Without one?
Absolutely. All the time. I remember when I first started, the planes I was in, these little sets, they don't have a GPS. I could have a handheld GPS or have my phone, but no. I mean, you're really using the old maps. You're calculating time. This is a really good thing. And they want you to learn to fly that way. Should you not have your instruments, should you not have things, you need to know how to look at a map and go, all right. And you already know based on the wind, this is a good question. I know that in about 10 minutes, I should be looking for that landmark. If I don't see that landmark, I know I'm off track.
Yeah.
And that's how you know. That's a good point. Yes.
I've had my share of fairly large boats, and I'm in between boats right now, and I never
we don't have a way to map it.
I've never run a boat without a GPS, without staring at a GPS the whole time.
Right. But there's no, because you don't have, unless you wait. Well, the old days, you look at the stars.
Yeah, you need it. It's called a sextant.
That's what you had to do, right?
Little brass handheld thing before electricity or something, yeah.
Right, and it was based on the stars and the positioning and how
you are, yeah.
Right. Well, it's the same thing. So, but yours is harder, I think. In a boat.
I can't believe how far we veer from the stuff that we're supposed to talk about in this show. We're talking about sextants and GPS and pilot boats and planes and stuff.
I think we already covered the topic, didn't we? Why we can't afford to give away land every month. That was a topic. I thought we covered it 10 minutes ago.
This whole podcast could be like 45 seconds. Why can we afford to give away land every single month? Because
we buy it right.
It's so cheap. That's the whole show.
Check. Done.
If you would rather have these podcasts be 45 seconds instead of 20 or 30 minutes, please
Steve.
email Jill at landacademy.com.
Great. Thanks.
And
Here we go.
put in the subject line, stop the madness.
You're gonna make my email blow up again. Every time you do that, my email blows up. I'm gonna get you back. It's coming. So I'm gonna say something like about your birthday on your birthday. You're gonna have like a flood of 10,000 birthday emails is what I'm gonna do to you. Watch.
No. Let's
gonna jam up your system.
We'll keep birthdays out of this.
Okay.
Hey, join us in another episode where Jill and I discuss your all-important success in land investment and sometimes in life. Maybe we should tell them how much we buy those properties for that we give away.
No, because it varies.
I know.
You know what? I have spent $500 on properties and given them away. It really varies. And then I know they're worth $1,500, $2,000 and even more.
There's
way more.
Remember that time we were giving away 10-acre properties in Nevada?
Yeah.
Did you see that in Success Plant?
They brought up
one of the recipients of that.
What did he sell it for?
$1 no reserve on eBay, like we teach.
Really?
$4,000.
Nice. Does it start with an L?
Yes. It does.
Okay.
So he made $3,000 or something like that, $2,500 by buying the package, buying the program.
That's exactly right.
And that's what we intended.
That's exactly right. Yeah. I get that question. It's interesting. I get that question often. They're like, okay, I see you're doing like I am right now, by the way. I have a couple free properties out there available. What's the value of these properties that you're giving away? And my answer is, well, you'll learn. A, and B, it depends. You want to dump it for cash right now, or do you want to ride it out a little bit more and make even more money? There's lots of ways to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be worth $1,000. It could be worth $1,800. I don't know.
In all of my whole career, I've never heard of anyone giving away property. And the only time I've ever heard it is Century 21, the real estate company, has for the National League Home Run Derby for the pros, for baseball. Mm-hmm. They give away a house to somebody who wins. There's some kind of thing. The Home Run Derby is televised every year.
HGTV does that.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly. Or maybe it's sponsored by HGTV.
Okay, it's HGTV. They give away a house a year. They do, and it's like a big design thing. Yeah, so it's like I think somebody donated the land to begin with, and they built this state of the whatever. Right. They make a big show about it.
Yeah,
so.
Oprah gives away properties.
Oprah does?
She used to. Yeah.
I didn't know she gave away properties. That's interesting. Okay.
Houses and stuff.
I'm not surprised because she's Oprah.
I really like Oprah.
I do too. Who doesn't like Oprah?
Right. People, I bet there's people.
I don't know. I think Oprah's great. Well, we've really gone off topic on our off topic part. This has been fun.
Let's go buy some property.
We hold a drawing to win a free property every month. Enter to win by reviewing this show on iTunes and downloading our free ebook at landacademy.com.
If you want to get involved or you need more information about our profitable, niche real estate operation, call 480-467-0359. You just might get Jill at the other end of the line.
Landacademy.com. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.